right, good evening, everyone. I'm Margie O'Leary. We are here for the September 12th, 2022 Audit Committee meeting. This meeting was added to the calendar, and we have a change to our dates so that we will not be meeting October 3rd, but November 7th.
That's correct.
So just so everybody has the dates. First item on our agenda is review of the minutes from June 9th. Anyone have any comments or questions on the minutes? No. Okay, next up we have claims auditor reports. Tracy, you want to take that one?
I'm not sure what information you have in front of you.
We have
There's
the,
something both that.
yeah, we have both.
So I was just looking at the year-over-year report I do.
Francine, can you hold on one second? Does she need to speak into the mic for it to get picked up?
Yeah, they won't be able to hear it.
Do you mind, Francine, coming up to the microphone, because otherwise you're not going to get picked up on the audio? Thanks.
Is that good? I'm looking at the year-over-year report, and I'm just showing that from last year, school year to this school year, the total number of exceptions went up. However, the dollar amount went down, so that's a good sign. And a majority of them, though, are from the operation and maintenance department. A little more than half of them. I think that's accounting for change in employees in that area. The last couple of years, it seems like we're changing, making decisions and learning how the process works.
Yeah, that was my thinking too. We've got some new staff in that area, and I think that could account for some of the exceptions that you're finding.
Then in the packet, I do have exceptions from our last meeting, which was June 9th, till the end of the school year. And a few of them are just basically, we're getting like flat price quotes instead of labor parts broken out. And I would have to say that's it for the end of the school year. And then I also included from the start of the school year till now, we had several minor exceptions, except for one was the gym floors. I did not get backup information, but I do believe due diligence was done in regards to getting price quotes from other. I just needed the information included into the packet so I can see that. So we're doing that.
Okay. And is there a communication issue, or why do you think you don't have it?
I can't really speculate. It might be just learning the system and trying to get the information given to us. That's what I think it is. And something else, I'll let you.
Any comment on that?
I'll just say that it was the first time our new director of facilities has done the bids, so there were some concerns about the way the process was run, and that's been tightened up, and we'll continue. So.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Francine.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, next up we have, any questions or comments on that? Good. All right, next up we have school lunch profit and loss from May and June.
So we ended the year with $103,000, which was really good. Our reimbursements were up $244,000 from 21. We also had a limited numbers of students last year versus, the year prior than to last year. So that's really it.
Yeah, it looks like we're in good shape. My question when I reviewed everything is, what do we think is going to happen this year without the reimbursements?
To be honest, that's going to be difficult because fewer students are likely to take the lunches. So it's good news, but we're probably not going to be profitable this year as we haven't been before. So that's why we have an amount in the general fund for that. So.
Yeah, I think there's still some legislative efforts happening to restore the funding for the, maybe even breakfast. I think anything would help and is needed. So,
Prior to the stimulant money were we losing? Or breaking
Yes.
even? We were losing money.
During COVID, we were.
Generally, if you're
I'm
very
talking about
low,
before COVID, before any.
right. Generally, if you're a very low poverty population,
Yeah.
food service is going to lose money.
Yeah.
If you're a high poverty population, like my former school district, you get on community eligibility and you get what we've gotten the past couple of years. So that's just the way things happen.
But prior to a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were to predict, the best predictor of future performance is past performance. 2, 3, 4 years ago, were we losing money?
Yes,
That was a normal thing.
that was a normal thing, and it's generally a normal thing for wealthy school districts.
So we could possibly be losing money this year
Right.
based on that prediction.
Yes.
Right, I think the big difference is we can't count on school lunch fund being a profit center like it was last year, right? Where we could use some of that excess money to replace equipment that had been neglected or, was in need of replacement. So we're just gonna have to manage accordingly, I think.
Correct. That's what we're approaching it as, and if there's any equipment that needs to be replaced, obviously we replace it, but
And Java Hut's back open. The Java Hut is open, yes.
The Java Hut. Do you know what it is?
Sounds like coffee.
All right. No, I think it's important. If you don't know, it is a coffee smoothie kind of area that's run by our staff and students. I've also do it for community service hours. That is profitable. So that helps offset some of that.
All right.
So, that's some of the things that Paul does to be able to kind of boost the revenues, and that's one of them that really does help them make some more effort, more money.
Great. All right, thank you. We are moving right along. I should have just said we needed 15 minutes for our agenda. If anyone's interested, boys, JV 143 and overtime.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And I think we heard
3-1.
Funerals 1, 2. Woo-hoo.
varsity games starts at 7:30.
Go soccer. All right, on another note, external claims auditor.
external auditor.
External auditor, my bad,
We have to make sure they're separated.
right.
Yes, we are going through our on-site audit process right now. Because we were having issues this morning, we did not have them on site.
Internet.
Internet issues.
Sorry.
They have also told us that tomorrow they'll be working in their office. They have enough to do their, so they'll be in the rest of the week, like Wednesday through Friday. Basically, it's just them bouncing questions off us based on the information we've sent, us answering any concerns that they have. We get information from them, we try to address them. That's the normal process of auditing. It's going okay. I won't have any preliminary results for probably until the beginning of October, potentially at the board meeting. I could give you a little update on where we are, where they're settling finally, when it's at jello phase rather than solid phase. So,
And just so everybody knows, they could not make the October 3rd board meeting, and it was questionable as to whether they would complete their audit work in time. So we delayed until the November 7th meeting, and at
Remind
that,
me again, who's the firm?
it's the
Bonadio.
Bonadio group.
done deal, yeah.
And they're pretty well known, at least in this area,
Yeah.
audit firm. And they do a lot of school audit work, among other things. So, and when do you expect that they'll complete their audit work? Have they told you or? Was it last year or the year before, we had the issue of exceeding the 4% reserves in the state finance law.
That was last year. We have corrected that for this year, as long as everything turns out roughly the same way it is now. If they say, no, sorry, your reserves and fund balances are actually this much higher, there's a potential we could go.
But with it's in the, when did we talk about the reserves for the lawsuits?
For the
The
certiorari.
real property, yeah.
Yeah, that was August 17th. And we actually approved, you actually approved
We approved
putting
it.
1.05 million in to cover the midpoint that we estimated. So
Right. So if we had to reserve extra, we could approve it
potentially.
and put it towards that fund.
Legally, you're supposed to do it before you set the tax levy,
Yes, you're right.
but if the auditors say you've got this much extra,
But we're feeling pretty confident in the fact that
Oh, I
it's at
think-
the 4%.
Yeah, I think we'll be good. Just thinking of plan B. Okay, good. Anybody else have questions on
So they'll
auditor's report?
present to us on the November 7th meeting?
Yes, yeah, so we'll do the same thing we did last year, where they'll come, they'll deliver their report, we can all ask any questions.
And will that also be this hearing and board meeting, the pared down one at the public?
Yep, so I think what we did last year was we had them come to the audit committee meeting, present their findings, and then in the regular board meeting, we accept their report.
Yep.
Right,
that was that was what happened last year, and that would be similar this year.
okay, good. Anybody else have questions? Okay, I think we are through our agenda and
What
done
about-
in record time.
Actually, are we gonna do the function level?
Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead. Jim, do you want to comment on that? It's really
It's
more
very,
comment on last year, but we
Right.
kind of
Or
covered
the
that in the
budget is in there,
reserves.
right?
Yeah,
so it's very early in the year. I only showed you what we currently have. We haven't encumbered all of the payroll and all of that, so it's a little light right at this point. When we get to November, potentially we could have all of that encumbered and we'd have a better view of what the potential for year end is. But I did want to provide that for you, at least in case you had any questions.
Right. yeah, and we're still hiring potentially at least one teacher.
One teacher, 2 to 3 teacher aid, 2 to 3 teacher assistants, and 2 teacher aides. Yes.
Bus driver, so that could affect
We are
projection.
fully locked on bus drivers. Can always use more, but it's, some, I know. But
That
we could use
was
more subs.
priceless.
Custodians, we're still hiring.
And I'll note that function level summary document is now posted with the materials for audit. And we will, on board docs, and we'll continue that practice of posting the audit committee documents so that they're available to the public.
In the old business.
Yeah, it's right on the whole.
Yeah, right,
business
it's
slide.
in the,
Mhm.
under 6.1.
Yep.
Can I ask a couple questions on this, just as a reminder, Jim? Can you remind me what the 2630 computer assisted instruction is?
That's basically all of the technology.
So the reason the budget, I know we already talked about budget, but I got to look at it again, I couldn't remember things. So last year's final was like 257 and our budget's like 429. That's because incorporating the new technology.
Correct. That's the new installment purchase plan, which is about
Oh, right.
$200,000. So
Okay. And the operation of plant 1620, is that salaries?
no, that's the additional work around all of the buildings. We put in $325,000 for that.
Okay.
So.
Now I'm remembering. Thank you. And then one more.
Sure.
The 2850 co-curricular and 2855 interscholastic athletics.
Yep.
Those are, is that the total budget for sports and extra activities?
So the 2855 is sports specifically. and
Okay.
Yes, that's the total budget. 2850 is any other activities that are not sports, yes.
Like clubs?
Yeah, clubs,
Okay.
drama club, and dance club, all that.
Thank you so much.
And athletics is a topic that we will return to at some point. I want to follow up with Jim.
Okay.
By email, give him some questions that we had. And then we'll circle back to that. Great. In a future meeting. All right, anybody else have questions? All right, we're all set then.
Still record time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, still record time.
Yeah, so we adjourn that. We don't start our meeting until 7. But you can say hi to Tom.
Is it